This is a video review of the film. The film contains actors over 18 years of age. The video is made for entertainment purposes. The author of the video does not intend to offend anyone. Hi all. Today I will talk about the film, I Spit on Your Grave 2. A group of men broke into a single girl's apartment to make her their slave. Katie is a young girl who dreams of becoming a professional model. She comes to a meeting with an agent from a modeling agency. The woman says that Katie needs to make a new portfolio. She doesn't like the photos Katie took. Katie asks for advice and asks where she can find a good photographer. The woman says that the photographs cost several $1,000s and Katie will not be able to afford such costs. But before she leaves, Katie notices an interesting announcement. Katie comes home upset. She meets her neighbor Jason. The guy is trying to catch a rat and Katie decides to help him. She quickly crafts a mousetrap. She says that as a child, her father taught her a lot. Jason invites the girl to drink coffee together and Katie doesn't mind. Katie goes into the apartment and calls the photographer. The next day, Katie comes to the appointed location for a free photo shoot. At the entrance, she is met by a guy named George. He tells his brother that a new model has arrived. Katie liked George at first sight. Ivan compliments the girl and begins a photo shoot. Ivan takes several pictures and invites the girl to undress. He says that such pictures are most loved by modeling agencies, but Katie refuses.
I'm not gonna take my clothes off so you can sell the photos on the internet.
Ivan says that there is nothing wrong with this, because all models must be ready to do this in order to get a job.
She's prude.
Katie leaves and is very upset because she is missing her chance to fulfill her dream. The next day, Katie hears a knock on the door. Georgie came to her house to give her a flash drive with photographs. Katie doesn't understand how he found out her address. She asks him to leave and says she doesn't need photos. Georgie asks her to take the flash drive. Thus, George wants to apologize for his brother's behavior. Katie takes the flash drive and locks the door.
So, have a nice day.
Okay, bye.
Miss Katie.
In the evening, Katie comes out of the apartment to throw out the trash and forgets to lock the door. 10 minutes later, Katie returns home. Katie goes to bed. At night, she wakes up from a strange sound.
What are you doing?
She asks Georgie to leave, but the guy doesn't intend to go. He thinks that Katie likes him, but the girl is shocked. Katie tries to run out of the apartment, but does not have time to open the door. She starts screaming. Georgie attacks Katie and silences her. Neighbor James heard the screams. He enters the apartment and is immediately stabbed several times. James falls to the floor and sees Georgie attacking Katie. Georgie asks Katie to tell him that she loves him. Afterwards, Georgie takes off his pants and does this. A couple of minutes later, he gets up and realizes that he has committed a terrible act. He calls his brother and tells him everything. Ivan arrives with his friend. He's angry at his brother because now he has to clean up after him. Ivan quickly comes up with a plan. He takes out the magic powder and forces the girl to eat it. The girl wakes up and sees a man on top of her. Katie is in a panic. She realizes that she has been kidnapped. Katie says she is thirsty and asks for water. Kirill fulfills her wish. George stops his friend. Ivan goes down to the basement and gives the girl a blanket. He says that she will need strength. Katie tries to free herself but realizes that she won't succeed. A few hours later, the kidnappers go down to the basement. Ivan gives her a pill and asks Georgie to wash the girl. Georgie leaves briefly and Katie induces vomiting. She pretends to be asleep and unexpectedly attacks Georgie. She knocks him out and runs away through the window. Katie runs out onto a busy street and doesn't understand where she is. She asks people passing by for help, but people avoid the girl because they don't understand what she says. A policeman approaches the girl and invites her to get into the car. She says that she was kidnapped and that she was bullied.
Where am I?
You're in Bulgaria.
At the police station, Katie once again talks about what happened to her. She asks to be taken to the American embassy. The officer asks the girl to undergo a medical examination, but Katie refuses because traces of illegal pills may be found in her blood. The officer doubts that the girl is telling him the truth. A woman comes into the office. She promises to help the girl and asks the officer to leave. Anna helps women like Katie. She shows her hand and says that she has been in her place for a very long time. The woman invites Katie to go to the American embassy together. On the way, Anna invites the girl to stop by her house so that Katie can change clothes and wash herself. Katie agrees. Soon they arrive at Anna's home. The woman asks the girl to go to the basement because all the things are there. But Katie made a big mistake by believing the woman.
Welcome back.
Ivan thanks his mother for her help, and the woman leaves. Ivan invites another friend to the team. The man takes out a stun gun and takes off his pants. After 15 minutes, He comes out of the basement. He enjoyed being with Katie. Next, Ivan enters the room. He tells her that she is no longer a beauty. Katie slaps him in the face. Ivan responds in kind for this. He calls his assistants and makes them dig a hole. They undress the girl and put her in a box.
Goodbye, Miss Katie.
Georgie goes to his mother. Meanwhile, Ivan explains to Nikolai that they will no longer be able to return to America. Katie begs God to save her. She doesn't want to die in this place and this way, and God heard her. Katie falls into the sewer underneath the house. She walks for a very long time through long sewer tunnels. She finds a secluded place where people used to live. Katie finds a lighter and starts a fire. After some time, she notices a pigeon and eats it. The next day, Katie finds her way out of the sewer. Opening the door, she enters the church. She takes her food and clothes. A few days later, the Holy Father finds the girl. He allows her to take the food, but asks her not to steal anymore. He offers help, but the girl can't trust anyone anymore. Katie gathers her strength and goes outside. She comes to the American embassy, but cannot go there. A few days later, Katie comes to church. The Holy Father is sure that something bad happened to the girl, but she doesn't want to talk about it and says that she can handle her problems herself. Katie finds the house where her kidnappers live and begins to follow them. She first decided to take revenge on George. She tracked him down and put her cross in the coffee. Georgie follows her and falls into a trap. Katie knocks him out and chains him to the wall. When Georgie comes to his senses, the girl takes out a knife and asks him to say that he loves her. She makes several cuts and smears his body with mud. She leaves and heads to the club. Kirill became the girl's next target. She is waiting for Kirill to get drunk. She lures him into the toilet and attacks him from behind. He can't do anything and soon stops resisting. Katie used the toilet to get back at him. Then Katie goes to the man who tested the stun gun on her. She lures him into a trap and commits a mystery. First, she uses a stun gun and then uses a battery. Next, Katie comes to the house and kidnaps Anna. She puts her in a box and forces her to watch her son slowly die. Meanwhile, Ivan comes home and sees things scattered. He goes down to the basement and notices a hole in the floor. He goes down into the sewer and also falls into a trap. Meanwhile, the Holy Father tells the officer that he recently met an American girl. He says she needs help. The officer asks to show the place where the girl came from. Ivan wakes up on the table and feels a vice between his legs. The girl tells him that now he is not so brave. Ivan hears Anna's screams. He is laughing. Katie asks why he laughs at his mother. He says that Anna is not his mother. She was his father's captive until she went crazy and gave birth to George. Katie was once again convinced of what kind of freaks they are. She begins to squeeze the vice and makes an omelet from Ivan's eggs. At this moment, the officer finds them and asks Kate to stop. Suddenly, Ivan grabs the girl and the officer shoots him. The man realizes that the girl did not deceive him and sets her free. Having taken revenge on her offenders, Anna heads towards the American embassy to return home. And this is where the film ends. Write your opinion about this in the comments. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell to be the first to watch new videos.